What is up? Welcome to Smark Shooters, the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be wrestling podcast you have ever listened to in your life. I am your boy Ernie, blurred without fear. Welcome to the show. I am joined by a fellow co-host. I got my man Kevin, the big boss.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
And I also got my other boy over here, the limit break Sean.
How we doing, guys?
All right, man. Whew. A lot of wrestling this weekend. A lot of wrestling this past weekend. Okay, so I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Look, we had, okay, so let's run down. We had Fight for the Fallen. We had WWE Extreme Rules. We had Evolve, which is technically WWE adjacent. Let's see, what else do we have? There was was a G1 Supercard? There was so much wrestling. So much wrestling. Way more wrestling than any human being could possibly have deserved. But we're not going to talk about all of it. We ain't got that kind of time. But I can tell you what we do have time for, real quick. I do want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to New Wing Order, who is a proud sponsor of the Smark Shooters podcast, video show, all that good stuff. The main thing here, just want to let you know, these guys, let's just go ahead and keep it 100. These guys have award-winning wings, some of the best sauce I have ever had. And of course, if you are, and I'm assuming if you are local and you're checking out New Wing Order, I'm going to tell you right now, do yourself a favor, go check out and you can only get this on request. This is only on request. You can get that Nerd 901 sauce. So make sure you go and check that out. Everyone I've recommended it to loves it. It's great. It's beautiful. It always makes me wish I ordered more wings than I did at that time. But make sure you go follow them. You can follow them on social media, New Wing Order, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And also make sure you go to newwingorder.com so you can find out where their truck is at all times. And, of course, go and enjoy some wings. Now, with that...
Without exaggeration, the best wings I've ever had. And honestly, they're all just good people. They're good people over there. So check them out if you haven't had the privilege of having those wings yet.
Oh, no, it's beautiful. It is a thing of beauty. So, you know what? Yeah, we don't want to stand on ceremony here. We don't want to stand on ceremony. Let's go ahead and get in, because I always say, let's talk about the good stuff first. Let's talk about the good stuff first. Okay, so AEW Fight for the Fallen, a benefit show that was free for everyone who was watching from home, of course. Dude, great pay-per-view overall. There were a couple of rocky spots. I know there
Poor Britt Baker.
Oh yeah, no. That's actually one of the things I was actually thinking about. Britt Baker, the doctor. Britt Baker, bless her heart.
Good Lord.
She got Liv Morganed.
Yep.
And now this one, it is really okay. So I want to ask y'all a question.
Yep.
So we all remember what happened when Brie Bella. Threw some errant kicks, kicks that concussed poor little Liv Morgan.
Yes.
Knocked her visibly out.
Yeah.
And now, in this case, a similar scenario where B. Priestley, a wrestler who I love B. Priestley. I've seen her a lot on the indies, and I was actually really surprised she was there. She was doing like a stomp, and I can pinpoint exactly when it happened. It was a stomp that she did on Britt Baker while she was down, and you can clearly see where the foot came down just too hard. And Britt Baker, bless her heart, diagnosed herself. Because she's a doctor. It's not just a gimmick, y'all. It's not just a gimmick. She's a legitimate medical doctor.
Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, she is. Like she is literally everything Isaac Yankem wishes.
That's right.
He could be. But living your gimmick. But yeah, so like she actually diagnosed herself. Of course, Aubrey Edwards, the referee, took her to the hospital. sat with her, checked on her. And by the way, for those who don't know, I part of me wonders because Adam Cole was wrestling that night. That's her beau, her boo thing. So I wonder if he gave a call. But no, I mean the main thing is like, have y'all seen any like hate or heat or anything like that, towards like B Priestley? Because I've noticed like everybody's been oddly quiet about it.
Not the only thing I saw was just WrestleBotch stuff before I found out that she had a concussion.
Yeah.
I just saw the bad tag, and then I can't remember the other wrestler's name, but she's like, no, that way,
other way.
It's like, no, the other one.
That's all I've seen. I haven't seen any heat for B for delivering the stomp or whatever it was that I've seen.
I
haven't seen anything either. But I don't know much about her, but I'm gonna assume she doesn't have the same
same botch
track record, I guess, as Brie and probably to a lesser extent Rhonda. So I haven't really seen any hate. But I mean, it's stuff happens. I get it. I don't think she was just being careless or anything. But
right. Well, now I want to ask you another thing too, because you notice there was a little bit of beef after the match. There's a little bit of beef after the match. I don't know if y'all caught that, but when they were doing the highlights from the match, they had cut away, they're showing the highlights, and when they came back, Britt Baker and B Priestley were kind of getting into it. Now I don't know if that probably was a work, maybe, but it seemed as though like the cameras and the production crew, whoever's working Gorilla, was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
So it does make me wonder if there was like some legitimate heat between Britt Baker and B Priestley, or if that was actually something that was supposed to happen. Like, now personally, if it's a work, please keep working it, because I would love to see them work together again. I was actually pretty hyped for it, but
I didn't get a chance to see it. But what it like, you see that every once in a while where people get pissed, like if it's WWE or whoever, and like if you get hurt for real. It's still a combat sport, no matter what people want to say. You are still actually hitting people and throwing people, and mistakes happen and all that. But if you actually get hurt when you're not expecting to, you're going to be pissed. So I don't know, work, shoot. I don't know what it was. What I really thought about this whole thing was go back to Fyter Fest and the damn chair shot that Cody took.
Oh, yeah.
The optics of this are kind of weird for me, because it's like, you have Cody, you have I don't know what his actual title is, because he's not the CEO, because
he's like a vice president.
Yeah, EVP or something.
Yeah,
EVA,
he's executive vice president.
So you have the EVP of this company taking an unprotected chair shot, which, the oh my God, now I'm blanking on their name. The tag team, the best tag team.
The Young Bucks.
Young Bucks came out on the podcast, and they said, or an interview, or I think it was on their podcast or YouTube show or something, and they said, look, the chair was gimmicked, but we didn't plan on it wrapping around Cody's head and cutting the back of his head open and him just gushing blood out of the back of it. So it's almost like it's just the optics are weird when you have that. I think 2 weeks ago when Cody, I don't know how Cody didn't have a concussion. I don't think we ever heard about that one way or the other. Just that he took
they said no concussion, but he did have to have 12 staples, 12 stitches, something like that.
It's just like, and that when I saw Cody take that chair shot, I was like, I tweeted it too. I was like, I love everything AEW is doing, but with how aware we are right now of CTE, yes, and health of athletes and everything, and headshots and all this other stuff, I don't want to go back to those days where Rock was hitting Mankind 19 times with freaking Mankind's hands, handcuffed behind his head. Talk about a tangent here, but the health of these wrestlers is number one, period. No matter what federation it is, it doesn't matter what. So when you're talking head injuries, it always just makes me it's so different. It's so funny. Like when I was a kid, I wanted all the chair shots to the head. Didn't care. I was 15, 16 years old. I didn't care. Whatever. It looked great. Sounded great. Didn't care. But as I'm now a 37-year-old man, it's just, I want AEW doesn't have to have the chair shots, unprotected chair shots to the head to beat WWE. Just prove it in the ring, prove it with your storytelling, which is one thing I want to touch on here a little bit later when I assume we'll get to Jericho and Paige.
Yes.
Just do it with that. You don't need all this other extraneous stuff. But the Britt Baker thing, it just seems like it was just not really a botch. It was just, it just wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened. So.
Right. No, that's exactly what it was. Okay, so all right. Real quick, just want to go ahead and throw this out here. We had, what was it, MJF, Sammy Guevara, and Sean Spears. Speaking of those chair shots. The chairman, which, by the way, I'm getting that shirt. They were up against Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela, the team that I affectionately call Team Outlaw Mud Show. Which, I mean, that's fine. They're team hardcore, but I mean, I just thought it was funny that they put the guys that like are the hardcore wrestlers versus guys who are like your traditional wrestlers.
Yep.
But your boy MJF, he walked away with an injury, so he's out for a little bit. He's got an elbow injury, which sucks because he is probably one of the best heels working right now.
Yeah,
easily one of the best.
Top 2 or 3, yes.
Yeah, that guy sold me when we watched Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing him in the Battle Royal, and I was just like, who is this guy? Like, who does he think he is, and whatever. And then by the end of the show, I was all in on him. Like, he's the perfect heel. Like, I haven't gotten to see him in the ring too much yet, but I mean, on the mic, he's the prototypical heel in the wrestling business, and he's fantastic.
Oh no, I love him on Being the Elite. Like, if you ever catch him on Being the Elite, I think they had a skit because they were showing behind the scenes for Fight for the Fallen, and they had a skit where he bumped into Marco Stunt, who I did not know this, apparently is from either Olive Branch or Horn Lake, Mississippi.
Really?
Go figure. But he's like, you're lost. He's like, I'll help you find your mom. I'll help you find. And then like it kind of leads to a joke where it's like, of course I know where your mom is. She's in my hotel room. And I was just like, dude. I was like, oh my god, I love this guy. This guy is golden to me. But no, I love the little subtle storytelling they did in that one, because that was kind of a cold match. There was really no reason for the match to happen other than like, hey, we need to put something on the card. But they were able to tell some stories with Sean Spears, some stories with MJF because they got beef because of the whole Cody thing, Darby Allin and his beef with Cody, not Cody, but with Sean Spears because of the whole interruption on the match, and Jimmy Havoc and MJF, they got beef, and then of course Joey Janela and Sammy Guevara, I guess they maybe have beef of some sort. I don't know. It was a good match overall.
That's one thing that AEW seems to get is you don't always need to have this convoluted story and this overbooking, and sometimes all you need to do is put a couple or several people in the ring that know what they're doing and know how to work, and you get a quality match out of it. You don't need to have all this intricate storytelling all the time. Just give us a good, solid wrestling match. Not to jump gears or anything, but one of the best matches at Extreme Rules was Alistair and Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
No history whatsoever other than he knocked on his door.
It was a cold match.
One of the best matches on the show. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. We don't always need a story. Just give us good wrestling.
Well, and kind of leaping a little more into that. One of the things I kind of appreciated was just the something like I said, not every match was just like absolutely positively perfect. I'm not going to be that guy that's going to be like, oh my god, everything AEW does is amazing, because I mean I was kind of hit or miss on the Brandy Rhodes Alley match, just because it kind of had some very WWE moments in it. But I did like the build-up for that, but I felt like the match itself didn't live towards the build-up that they were doing with all the video packages.
I think Brandy's awesome. I don't think Brandy should be in the ring.
Yeah.
Is where I come down on her. She's a great character. She's
great on the mic. She's great on the mic.
Great on the mic. Just back up your man. And that sounds bad, but you know what I mean. Like, I just don't think
I know what you mean, though.
But the best use of her, I don't think, is in the ring. I think she is great at what she's great at, but wrestling is not one of those things.
I would rather she be a mouthpiece for Awesome Kong. That is because that's kind of how I feel about. That's kind of how I feel about Brandy Rhodes. I feel like I was like, if you were a mouthpiece for Awesome, not that she didn't even really need a mouthpiece, she could speak for herself, but being kind of like that benefactor, being like the Bobby Heenan the Bobby Heenan to the Rick Rude, being the Jim Cornette to the Vader, that kind of thing. Like, but it's one of those situations where Awesome Kong doesn't need anybody speaking for, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And not only that, like I don't. It's one of the few weird things where I'm like, technically, Brandy is like, she's a very nice person. Mm-hmm. So it's always really difficult when she switches gears. It's kind of like how weird it is to watch like Hunter and Stephanie McMahon switch from being good guys to bad guys.
So that's one thing I did want to touch on. So at the end of the pay-per-view, whatever the heck they're calling these things now, Cody gets on the mic after their match and everything, completely out of character. And I know it's for a reason. Like the whole point of the show was to raise money for gun violence and all this other stuff. Like I get all that, but it's kind of weird. It's stuff that is normally like, okay, and the Chiron comes on, copyright, AEW, blah, 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 and cut to black. And now the people in the stadium see this, like talking to the crowd and all that. It's kind of weird. It's going to be interesting when they get on TV, because what I do think right now, AEW, with not even being on free TV, well, you know what I mean? Free TV, is doing such a great job at storytelling. Like Jericho coming in as masked as one of the Super Smash Brothers, whatever they're calling him now.
Oh yeah, I forget what they call them. I just call them the goons.
Yeah, and then going after Paige and pulling off the mask and stuff. It's like they're building everything slow. They don't have a choice because they're not on TV, but they've got the YouTube stuff and everything. But it's like they're doing such a good job at storytelling without even being on TV that I can't wait to see what they do when they're actually on there every week. If it's Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't think it's for sure yet. I thought it was Tuesdays, but then I saw somebody saying it might be they might be on Wednesdays.
Yeah, now they're saying Wednesday.
Okay. I mean, more people are going to watch that than watch NXT just because it's on the network versus free cable. But I just cannot wait to see what these guys do when they're on every week. I'm so looking forward to it. I cannot wait.
And like you said, it's all been just a very slow burn. And that is something WWE suffers from all the time. When you've got, I mean, the prime example is WrestleMania with Ronda and Becky, where you've got that story, you've got it written, it's ready to go. And then it's like, oh crap, we got to fill 3 hours a week for 7 weeks.
And 17 pay-per-views between Survivor Series going. Yeah.
Right. And then they end up just overbooking it and running the story into the ground. But I mean, AEW's it's almost a blessing to them that they don't have this weekly show yet, because they can just let it kind of evolve just more naturally, I guess. And it just works out so much better for them.
Well, it's like, okay, so you got, Nyla Rose, and it's like, okay, well, all right, I'm looking at Nyla Rose, and I'm like, all right, you're supposed to be the big monster of the women's division, and it's like, you've already lost twice, but you've been showing in, like, the back, because this is one thing I do love that AEW does, that they took from New Japan Pro, is that they have, like, the after pay-per-view press junkets, like how New Japan has. I love that. I think that's fantastic, because it gives you some extra insight into what's going on, but I almost like even though I don't think the storytelling they've been doing with her has been great, like on camera, I love the storytelling behind the scenes, because they've been showing how frustrated she is with with people she won't name, but she's like she lets it be known that she's coming after certain people, and it pretty much lets me know that when All Out comes up, like I was actually almost surprised it didn't happen at Fight for the Fallen, but I would be surprised if we don't see a run-in from Nyla Rose at All Out. I would be surprised. That said, and kind of bringing up talking about the storytelling, the wins and losses mattering, they actually did kind of play into a lot of how I thought about how some of the matches would go, because in the back of my head I'd be like, oh well, wait a minute, this guy's lost 2 matches already, so he's probably winning tonight, or this guy's already lost as 1-2. That did kind of play into a little bit, but one of the things I actually liked is that they still didn't play into letting that dictate the booking of the match, because they let the storytelling take precedent first. Because I think when they had the triple threat tag, like part of me kind of actually thought that SCU or not SCU, but Lord have mercy, the Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus were gonna walk away the winners of that one because they're so over. They're stupid over.
Yep.
They are just way more over than I think any human being on Earth has been at any one given time. And then you had the Dark Order came in, but because when they win the match, and then I started immediately thinking, I was like, wait a minute, the Best Friends won their match, and they're in a program together, so of course this makes sense. They're telling a story, and even though I wasn't thinking about it at the time, that's what they're doing. Dark Order, they're booking Dark Order versus the Best Friends. I get that. I'm cool with it. But that match itself, my God, I just want to go ahead and say, I didn't know who the Angelico and Jack Evans were, before Double or Nothing. Everybody in this match was amazing. Everybody in this match was freaking insane. The Dark Order had a crazy finisher, ridiculous finisher. Angelico and Jack Evans, they were doing crazy moves, all kind of crazy tag team tandem stuff, and of course Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, who were just I'm still wrapping my skull around how over they are, which I'm happy about. I'm happy for it, but just wow.
And I think that's the main thing that AEW is just leaps and bounds ahead of WWE on is tag team wrestling.
God.
Not even close. I mean, WWE's got some talent. I mean, the Usos and
you got the Usos, New Day, Revival.
New Day. Sorry.
But that's it. Outside of those three, and even for the most part, they tend not to let those three teams even do what they do best, and they get shortchanged constantly. And I don't know. To me, I didn't think I was really a big fan of tag team wrestling. I'm like, just give me singles matches, or not necessarily one-on-one, but triple threats, whatever. AEW has definitely reinvigorated my passion, I guess, for tag team wrestling once you see how good it can be.
Yeah, tag team wrestling done correctly is and okay, so now I will say this one criticism I do have about that particular match is that I wish the Dark Order was as over as AEW wants them to be.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I because I get it. I see what they're it's one of those things. I can see what they're booking. I see it. I like it. I like the idea behind it. But it's just the crowd, and mostly because, well, they're not going by their original name, which was the Super Smash Bros. Or Smash Brothers, whatever.
No way they were keeping that name. Yeah.
Oh God, no, there was no way. And then, of course, when they showed up, they're also kind of one of those teams that, because they're also on the indies, and they're kind of more on the fringe side. Yeah. So many people didn't really know who they were. When they did the run-in at Double or Nothing, no one really knew who they were. Even I was kind of sitting there scratching my head trying to figure out who the hell are these guys.
I was I have no idea what is happening right now, but this is freaking awesome.
I was I'm here for it. But I mean, I don't know. And the thing is, but now I think it will change because people finally got to see them in action. I think people responded to them better during the match versus before. But yeah, I wish they were as over as AEW wants them to be right now. But we'll see what happens with that. And then of course we mentioned earlier, we were talking about the run-in with Jericho. You had Adam Page versus super bad Kip Sabian, which I wasn't really interested in this match at all, going into it. But I gotta admit, they told a story in the ring.
Yeah.
And it may not have been the story that I wanted to see right then there, but I did enjoy the match itself. I thought it went a little longer than I would have liked, but I did appreciate how the whole, we have time limits. We have legitimate time limits. Yeah. And I don't know if y'all caught this, but the second, because they kind of did what you see in UFC, where when you get to that, where it's you're getting close to the last couple minutes, you hear that. And dude, it was, and immediately, just like a UFC match, Page, Sabian, they turned it up to 11. because they're like, okay,
so cool.
Let's get at it.
It's so freaking
Dude.
cool. I think there are so many different things that AEW can do, like I said, other than chair shots and stuff like that, to differentiate themselves from WWE. And this time limit thing is something that like you just freaking nailed it. Like it feels like a UFC fight, because if they do it's like, holy crap, there's a minute left, whatever. Y'all got to do something, especially like imagine if at All Out, Paige and Jericho have gone 19 minutes and it's a 20-minute time limit, or whatever. They might do a 30-minute time limit.
They'll probably do 30 minutes for them.
Yeah. But then if they go 29 minutes and they're both like gas, and all of a sudden you hear like all of a sudden you can just, I can picture the camera zooming in on Paige and zooming in on Jericho, and they run up and they just start doing the punch each other in the face thing, and it'll be so awesome. The other thing that this whole pay-per-view thing made me think of is it makes me long for the days when WWE didn't have to have every stupid pay-per-view be 5 or 6 hours long, counting the pre-show. I would love AEW to bring back, and I don't know if they're going to do, once they're on TV, I don't know if they're going to do pay-per-views every month or what.
I think they said they're going to try and spread them out.
Thank you.
Yeah, I almost hope they do.
We'll see.
That's what I'm saying.
What a year.
If they do, even if it's like a free thing on Bleacher Report where it's not a pay-per-view every other month or something.
Do like a free in your house.
Thank you.
Yeah, do like a free in your house. Just give it away.
I miss In Your House so much. It's just a quick 2-hour show, 5 matches maybe. There's a title match and a few other little feuds and whatever. And it's something, if you care about it, you tune in to see, but it doesn't have to be this big freaking extravaganza like every pay-per-view is WrestleMania or something. I hope that that's the route they're going to take, because that's what this show made me think of. Is it felt like an In Your House, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a very, very good way. Yeah.
I mean, I think that if you're going to do it, like I said, I'm with Sean, 6-7 pay-per-views a year.
Yep.
6 or 7 a year. That's all I need. I don't need, if you want to do like some specials, kind of intersperse between, I'm here for it. I'm not going to turn them down. Because that's the other thing too. I always feel like with WWE, every Raw or SmackDown is really just to service the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got to come up with, and a lot of the booking we get is because we have so many pay-per-views. Well, we got to have something for SummerSlam. We got to have something for TLC. We got to have something for Elimination Chamber, whatever. We got to have something for Money in the Bank. We got to have something for Stomping Grounds. Oh God, it just
Great Balls of Fire is a better name than Stomping Grounds, and that's
exactly. But we're not using that anymore. Actually, I think Cody has the rights to that one now.
Does he really?
I think so. Like Great Balls of Fire, Bash at the Beach, and something else. Like he got them all back.
Starrcade. Give AEW. They never will. But no. God, give Cody. Cody deserves to have the name Starrcade, for crying out loud.
And the thing is, he silently owns it, because honestly, because WWE is not a fan. They are not a fan of Starrcade anymore. Like, they tried to use it.
It's a freaking house show. Come on.
Yeah, like they
it's a joke.
It was a glorified house show. Not even glorified. It just was.
It was a straight up network special or whatever they called it.
I will say this. What did y'all guys think about the Lucha Bros versus SoCal Uncensored? The tag match. That match. Good God. Tag team wrestling, y'all.
That's tag team wrestling. Thank you. Tag team wrestling is still a thing. And like going back to what Sean was saying earlier, WWE has beat it into our heads that tag team wrestling doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Tag team wrestling is freaking awesome when done right. I know I'm saying exactly what Sean said earlier, but like when you let the performers perform and you don't overbook them and overstipulate them and all this other stuff, just let them go out there and do their thing. Again, with no TV or anything to build stories, whatever, just go have a match. And it's just that was the thing when we watched Double or Nothing, when all three of us watched it together. Oh yeah, R.I.P. Nick. He's at the beach.
Yeah, as I say, he's having a bash at the beach.
Yeah, exactly. But when we watched Double or Nothing, that was the thing that stood out to me more than anything, more than Omega and Jericho and Paige stealing the show and MJF and all this other stuff, was just like, holy crap, I forgot how good tag team wrestling is. And have they announced yet? Are they going to crown a tag team champion at All Out?
Yes. Yes.
Young Bucks and Lucha Bros in like a ladder match or something?
Well, okay, so what they're gonna do, so basically what this match setup was, because and it's really weird because this one is technically not even with their own belts. So the Lucha Bros, when they went against the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing, the Young Bucks had recently beat them for the AAA tag team titles. And then at a AAA show or some other show, the Young Bucks lost the titles back to the Lucha Bros. So the Lucha Bros right now, they are the current AAA tag team titles, but now they're putting the AAA belts on the line versus the Young Bucks in a ladder match. But at the same time, they're actually having a legitimate AEW tag team tournament, which is kind of why you had like so that's where like the Dark Order and the Best Friends come into play, is that they're going to be involved in that. But they're going to be in it for the actual AEW tag team championships. And then I think we've also got a women's championship that's going to be talked about at All Out, and they've actually been pretty open about the fact they're gonna because their women's division is actually a lot deeper than you would imagine at first glance. It's actually, I would damn near say it's as deep as WWE's is right now on both shows. But right now they're talking about doing a women's tag team as well, and hopefully they'll do that better than WWE has done.
I mean,
we'll get into that when we talk about SmackDown.
Yeah, I love the Iconics, but good lord.
Yeah.
But no,
Iconics!
So my only criticism there is I think they need to ditch the AAA thing. I think it should be Luchas and the Young Bucks going for the AEW strap in a ladder match.
I kind of get why they're not doing it though. I kind of get why they're not doing it. The only reason I'm okay with it is just because the Bucks are also executive vice presidents. They're trying not to book them. That's kind of why we got and speaking, I guess we're going to jump right into that. The Young Bucks, and I guess the only thing I'll say, I want to save the best for last, because actually I think, I know Kenny Omega versus Shima was not the main event, but that was my main event. The Young Bucks, when they went against the Brotherhood, Cody and Dustin, I get why they did it, because they know that they're in charge. So they're trying not to book themselves into too many title situations, too many main storylines. I totally get that. So what they're doing is, I've noticed they've been booking themselves against each other, so that way they're not taking spots from other talent. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, I kind of wish they weren't ping-ponging the AAA belts. But I mean, if you're going to ping-pong some belts, let it be their belts, not your own belts.
Right.
But yeah, but I guess, speaking of, what does everybody think about the Young Bucks versus the Brotherhood?
It's freaking, like, four of the best in the world. I don't care how old Dustin is right now.
That man could do a Canadian Destroyer. He's still good.
I mean, literally four of the best in the world right now, regardless of age. That they tore the house down. They told a great show. You had the freaking high-flying, crazy-ass Young Bucks versus the old veteran and the veteran.
Mm-hmm.
The Rhodes brother, and I love seeing them together. I like that Cody at Fyter Fest pretty much put over Darby Allin. Shows that he's not taking the Triple H or the Kevin Nash route of when it comes to being the booker.
Thank God.
And same thing with this. Like they put those guys over, and it was just so fun. And again, it felt like it almost felt like a house show match, and I mean that in a good way, like where you just go out there and you just throw everything out there, throw it all, you're throwing darts, see what sticks, and just have a blast. And that's what they did. And they're four of the best in the world. And I am so stoked for All Out right now. There's nothing before All Out, right? That was it.
No, All Out is we are actually, as a matter of fact, today I believe AEW dropped their road to All Out, so we are just strictly moving to All Out. But
and I mean, speaking of All Out, just this is what the card is right now. Are you kidding me? Already, this right now is all I need. Cody versus Shawn Spears, Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks. Like I said, ladder match for the AAA tag team. Best Friends versus the Dark Order. The winners receive a first-round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament. Jon Moxley versus Omega, and Adam Page versus Jericho for the vacant championship. Are you kidding me?
Dude, that's already a stacked card.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really need anything else. They'll throw a couple women's matches on there, and that what else do you need? I mean, that's it.
I can't wait. I freaking cannot wait. Sorry.
Well,
Tangent again, but though to answer your question, yeah, those are 4 of the best in the world, all doing what they do best is the best way I can describe that match.
Oh yeah, easily. I guess Sean, what did you think about the Brotherhood?
I didn't get to watch the whole match. I saw like just highlights and stuff, but I'm sure the highlights told the story. It was an amazing match. And
if you at least saw the Canadian Destroyer, then you saw the good stuff.
Yeah,
You saw some of the good stuff.
I just hope that Cody and Kenny and Young Bucks, for that matter, don't go. I like what they're doing, but I hope they don't go overboard with like kind of selling a story. Yeah, like I don't want them. I mean, they're 4 of the best, maybe the 4 best in the company, arguably.
Oh,
it's okay to book, just book yourself. We all know you're the best guys out there. Like it's okay to book yourself and allow yourself to win some titles and win some matches, but I
just don't overdo it.
I get it, but just, don't go crazy with it either.
Don't pull a Triple H.
Yeah.
Cody's 16-time AEW champion.
For real.
No, I don't think they'll do that. I think they're going to play it smart. Speaking of smart, okay, so like I said, I know this wasn't the main event, but it was my main event, and that's Kenny Omega versus Shima. What the hell? What was going on? Because that match was all over the arena.
I'm so happy that Kenny is in AEW, but part of me still wishes he would have signed with WWE just to turn everything on its head. But Kenny Omega is freaking, he's not even from this planet.
No.
He's not. And I know there was all this drama with him and what he said about, going after WWE because they're running the Evolve show up against Fight for the Fallen and all this, and it's BS and all that. And I think everybody just like, if somebody says something about another company, everybody's they're just gonna latch onto it, and we got to just get all the drama out of it that we can. I think he was just speaking from the heart, and he thought it was BS that they were running a show the same time they're doing this charity show. And I get it. I completely get it. Kenny Omega's the freaking man. He's a Kuma for crying out loud. Like at the Fighter Fest.
Fighter Fest, yeah.
He is unreal. And he and Moxley are going to freaking, I feel bad. I almost proactively feel bad for Jericho and Page, although I know that's going to be a great match too. But Moxley and Omega are probably going to go on right before that. And I hope they give the crowd a lot of video packages and some commercials and stuff to catch their breath and everything before the main event for the title, because, oh my God, those guys are, oh my God.
Dude.
It's good.
Well, I was going to say, that's when you need some kind of a palate cleanser, whether it's a battle royal or something. Just put something just fun and meaningless in between those two. And
well, you've got this situation too right now where, I mean, I know we're talking apples and oranges here when we talk about, Extreme Rules. We're about to get into that right now. But just wow. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just happy that, like, I knew what Kenny Omega was capable of. Like, I've watched him in New Japan. I've seen him, doing his thing all over the world. I mean, the guy was literally the spokesperson for the most recent edition of Fire Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
Him and oh God, Kota Ibushi. Both of them. And dude, it just warms my heart that the rest of the world gets to actually experience Kenny Omega. Like, it blew my mind. It literally blew my mind.
Before he got to AEW, for me, it was more just YouTube clips and highlight reels and all this. And I had heard how he is the best on the planet. But then it's like finally getting to see him just go.
Oh, yeah.
AEW is just like, yeah, this guy's it's not hype. He's the real freaking deal.
Yeah.
And
He's legit.
Yep.
I guess all around everybody, what as far as like, I guess if you had to just say like thumbs up, thumbs down on a on AEW Fight for the Fallen, like I'd say I'd give it 2 thumbs up. It was 2 thumbs up for me.
I mean, I think it was fantastic. It definitely served its purpose. It's clearly not, I wouldn't put it at the level of like a WWE Starrcade, but it has that feel of almost like a glorified house show. Like, well, these 2 guys fight each other. It'll make for a good match. We don't need a lot of storytelling. But it served its purpose. It set us up perfectly for All Out. And I mean, that will tear the house down.
Oh yeah. I guess now I think about it, we live in a Dave Meltzer era. I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
Yeah.
Kevin, what your final thoughts on AEW Fight for the Fallen?
Sorry, I guess my Zoom my thing just died as in the middle when y'all were in the middle of talking, but yeah, a solid 3.5, 4-star show. For a show just 2 weeks after the last one, when really it's just kind of a stopgap before we get to All Out. It was great. It was fun. Like I said, it reminds me of the old days of in your house in the best way possible. And really for me, it's all about All Out for me. I cannot wait. It's going to, God, that show is going to blow my mind. I cannot wait.
Oh man, I'm ready. I guess let's talk about a show that maybe did or did not blow our minds. And maybe if it did, maybe in not the correct ways. Let's talk about WWE Extreme Rules.
Some rules are extreme, but not that many.
Nah. I guess let's go ahead and get the crazy ones out. I guess not the crazy ones, but like first off, we already knew, we talked about it in the preview, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor for the IC strap, of course. And I initially was kind of against this, but after hearing Tyler Breeze give a little bit of his personal perspective on it, my opinion about this match has changed. And also discovering what Paul Heyman originally wanted, my opinion on this match has changed. Paul Heyman originally wanted this on the main card, but he was vetoed. Because of course he was. But Shinsuke Nakamura, everybody was kind of down, and I was one of them too. I'll go ahead and admit it. I was like, you know what? I think this is garbage. You're putting the IC strap on the pre-show. This is garbage, and you're gonna have Finn Balor lose. But you know what? Tyler Breeze actually put it in perspective for me. He said, you know what? It would have been more egregious. Not in his exact words, but basically what he said was it would have been more egregious to not have the Intercontinental Championship on the show, period. And would have been even more egregious if Finn Balor just would have went on the pre-show and just won, because at least since he lost it on the pre-show, it kind of makes, he's like, oh, well, because, I guess like we have that mindset, we're like, oh, he's not going to lose on the
pre-show doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah, and so I kind of get that. I'm not 100% for it, but I I have a better opinion of it than what I originally had. But I don't know, I can't even remember. Did we say one way or the other? I think we all kind of assumed Balor was keeping.
We didn't predict it because I don't think it was announced yet.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't announced.
Assumed it would be added, and it was. But yeah, we didn't.
But
But I don't think anybody. Well, especially if we had known it was going to be on the pre-show, I don't think anybody was predicting Nakamura to win.
No.
But I mean, I'm a big Finn guy. I don't know what they're doing with him. I mean, they're doing a whole lot of nothing with him. I guess,
he did just recently ask for 2 months off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to take some time off. So it all makes sense. Clearly, he's going to come back and have some program with Bray. But I'm fine. But like, why you give Finn the title? You basically keep him off TV. You have Nakamura,
who's barely on TV himself.
Right. You keep him off TV, and then it's like, well, let's have him have a non-title match. Oh, Nakamura won. Okay, well, now I'll have him fight for the title and have Nakamura win. It just kind of all came out of nowhere. I hope they actually have plans for Nakamura and they're actually going to use him. I'm fine with it. There are far worse people that they could have had him drop the title to.
Yeah.
but I just don't know what they're doing with Finn in general these last few months. And if anybody needs some time away, it's Finn. Just
God, yes. After his first off, he needed that after what was it? Money in the Bank. He needed that time after Money in the Bank. His back needed that time off.
I would be broken in half after that spot. There's
That'd have been done. I would have retired.
The only thing with this is, like, I was hoping that they did this because he was going to join the club, and now that all these reports are coming out that he's taking time off, that's clearly not going to happen. So I get why they took the strap off him, but I've never been the biggest fan, Finn guy. We've talked about that many times on our prediction shows on the other and everything. But wow, that was loud.
Yep.
But it's just weird to not even announce this match, then put it on the pre-show, then have him drop the strap. It's just odd. And we'll get to Raw here in a little bit. I love what happened on Raw.
Oh yeah, now that was, I actually almost wish they'd have did that at Extreme Rules, but
yes,
neither here nor there.
But yeah, I
don't know. I guess now I think we all kind of saw this other one coming. Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. I think we all pretty much knew Drew Gulak was walking out of that the champion. It just
They don't care. I don't care.
Right. It's if you don't care about 205 Live, why should I? Now, okay, I'll tell you one thing I wasn't expecting. I was not expecting for Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon to open the show.
I didn't expect it, but I have been an Undertaker hater now for 3 or 4 or 5, 8 years, something like that.
I don't blame you.
This was the perfect match for him because he didn't have to just go in there one-on-one. Like, I think back to his match against Roman when he was just like,
oh my God. Like, he was gassed. He was gassed in the first, couple of minutes.
He was half dead. But this, where he can have Taker and Shane can have Roman and Drew do all the work, all the big spots. And those guys are 2 hosses. And I hate what happened to Drew on Monday Night Raw. But this was the perfect match for him, and he actually looked pretty decent. I don't know if he just was motivated because of everything that happened with the Goldberg match and how horrible that was.
I think that helped. I think that helped.
I thought Drew was awesome in this match. I thought Roman looked great too. Shane needs to freaking go away.
We're gonna talk about that some more here in a little bit. I promise you. That I promise you.
I did not expect. This was the first time I saw a WWE stats tweet this out. First time Undertaker's opened a pay-per-view since I think it was the only other time he opened was 2009. He won the World Heavyweight Championship in a Hell in a Cell match. It might have been against Edge, I want to say, at a Hell in a Cell match to open the show. That's the only time
I remember that
he's ever opened, and that was a freaking crazy match. That's the only other time he's opened a show. This was the perfect spot for him. I still don't need to see him every month or even at WrestleMania. I still wish he would just go out on a high note and kind of retire. Like this, we'll never get the rest of his career, however long it goes, we will never get a better match with The Undertaker in it than he was in this match.
Oh, no, not at all. Sean, what were your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything Kevin said. It was the perfect match for The Undertaker. It kind of, to some extent, allowed us to see the old Undertaker.
Old school.
If nothing else, he didn't look bad, and you can't say that about an Undertaker match over the last,
God, no.
I mean, I don't even know, 3, 4, I don't know when the last time he actually looked good, and he looked good enough in this match, which is all you can ask for. And that shot, the shot at the end of McIntyre just kind of appearing behind him, like,
I love that.
That was, I mean, not to sell the match short, that was maybe the best part of the whole match was that shot. That was so good.
The one thing that I don't know why I almost said AT&T, that WWE does, regardless of the match quality, their production values are still second to none. And that having that camera in the perfect spot so McIntyre can just rise up out of nowhere and just that was great at all. You didn't see the spear at all because they were so focused on McIntyre, but I didn't even care. Like, that was such a good visual that it's just WWE's production department is way better than their bookers and writers and everything.
Oh yeah.
If their bookers could be on the same page as their production department, then they would have something.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say I'm gonna echo everything y'all just said. Yeah, everything y'all said, I 1,000% agree with. I think the only thing I found kind of screwy about the match is that they still bill Undertaker at 6'10".
The dude is almost shorter than McIntyre.
Yeah, dude, McIntyre's like 6'4", 6'5". Yeah, no, McIntyre's 6'5". So
Undertaker's maybe got an inch on him.
No, just barely. So yeah, they need to bring that down. But yeah, otherwise I thought the match was fantastic. Especially for a match that I had no interest in whatsoever. I guess next up on the card we had the top guys, the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder versus the Usos. And this was a solid match. It was a solid match. It wasn't like anything to write home about. It was decent. Had some good spots. Got to see a good shatter machine. I don't know, like and the blend of styles. I mean, I think they work well together because you got classic wrestling style versus new school wrestling style. So I mean that worked for me. But like I said, it was one of those. They didn't do anything that just lit my world on fire.
Yeah,
it was just a match. It was just a match.
Exactly. It was just kind of there, and I can't even remember how it ended. Honestly, like Sean came over, and we watched the whole pay-per-view together, and this is one of those matches that I just don't. I remember it was there, and everybody looked good, but I don't even remember how it ended.
Yeah, it was. All I can tell you is that the Usos lost. That's all I can tell you.
Lost, but I don't know how it happened.
I couldn't tell you. I know it ended with a shatter machine.
Okay.
Most likely. But how that was all set up, how it all came to be, like how it all came together, couldn't tell you. Don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fine match that in the end was still kind of forgettable, which is, I mean, WWE tag team wrestling personified. I mean, that's what they.
That's going to be a hashtag.
Okay match, but nothing you're going to really remember after the fact.
Right. Now, that's going to wind up being a hashtag, like hashtag WWE Tag Team Wrestling. Like, that's just going to be the way whenever there's a tag team match and it's just okay. It's like, I was WWE Tag Team Wrestling. I mean, that is actually very accurate. Yeah. I guess, okay, so let's go ahead and jump into, like, and I think, Sean, you brought this one up earlier, like, this, and I agree with you. This was probably the match of the night. This was a match that, like, I kind of expected it. I kind of expected it to be a great match and probably head and shoulders above everything else that was going to be on the show, but you took Aleister Black and Cesaro in a cold match. There was no build. I mean, there was build-up. There was no actual. The real build-up between the two didn't happen until literally the week before the show. Literally the week of the show. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's still a cold match. It's cold booking. But they went out there and put on a clinic on how you take a guy who's come up, who's just been called up, and you want to make him strong. They managed to make Aleister Black look like a killer, look like somebody who is legitimate, but at the same time, it wasn't a squash. Cesaro got in plenty of offense. He still looks tough, and yet he still puts over Aleister Black. And that was probably, I don't know who booked the match. I don't know who put it all together, but whoever did, I would put them in charge of something. Just saying. Sean, let's see what were your thoughts on it? Because you were speaking pretty highly of it earlier.
Yeah, I mean, going into the pay-per-view, this was one of the matches I was most looking forward to, just because, and it played out exactly the way I figured it would. Mm-hmm. Cesaro losing, but both of them looking strong. Some good spots. Just a fantastic wrestling match that ultimately means nothing other than to put one of them over, but nothing really riding on it. But just a fun match to watch. And I hate that. I mean, you can't just put Aleister in there against a jobber and have him win. But at the same time, it sucks that it's, it has to be over Cesaro, because Cesaro's a guy they should be pushing, and they just don't seem to realize what they have with him. So it kind of sucks that it's got to come at his expense, but at the same time, it serves to make Aleister Black look that much more powerful. So to some extent, I get it. At least it was a good match, and they didn't just have him squash him. But
right.
Yeah, I wish they would just do something with Cesaro, though.
But so what about you, Kevin?
Like, it's kind of like I said when we did our prediction show, like I have not been as high on Aleister Black as everybody else has.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch NXT a whole lot. Throwing him in a tag team with Ricochet, I always thought was a stupid idea. I hated it from the beginning. You can't just throw two single guys together like, oh, they both came from NXT, so they're a tag team now. And they beat every other tag team, but they can't win the titles.
Nope.
So I was kind of down on him, and then they did all these stupid Mojo Rawley back in the back talking to himself in a mirror promos that just annoyed the hell out of me. But we knew this match was going to deliver, and I think it went as we were all predicting on the show last week, is that they're going to bring it, and they brought it. But we all knew Black was going to win.
Yeah.
And that damn spot, Cesaro, when he caught Black, when I don't know if he was trying to do a double knee takedown, whatever it was, but when he caught Black coming off the top rope on his shoulders in the air, threw that dude up and European uppercutted him, I was like, okay, this y'all are doing exactly what I wanted you to do. And it was so freaking good. I'm still not super high on Black like everybody else is, but I started to, I can, in this match, I can see why everybody likes him. I'm not sold yet, but man, this match was so much fun to watch.
I will say this much. If you really want to see like Aleister Black at the height of his powers, watch him, go back and watch like some of the old NXT takeovers. The NXT with Aleister Black versus Andrade. Yep. Thing of beauty. And that was the match that sent that was actually the match that was Andrade's last match in NXT.
That's right. Okay.
And then you also had Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream. It was when Velveteen Dream first started kind of becoming a thing in NXT, and Aleister Black and Velveteen, they had this like a war. It was just a straight up freaking war. And I'd even, like I said, he has really good matches. It's just he's kind of an odd duck just because of like his style, because he's this weird hybrid of striker and high flyer, and it doesn't seem to match his gimmick, at least not in the traditional sense. But I think if you the way that Vince has put Aleister Black front and center, I'm not a fan of it either. I'm not the hugest fan, at least. But the way he was presented on NXT under Triple H, that's the guy.
You said all you need to say right there.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Triple H versus Vince. There you go.
Dude, like, honestly, I would be surprised if Triple H has not broken things in Vince's presence. Okay, let's talk about... okay, so this is... Oh, man. Bayley versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. I don't have a whole lot to say about this match because honestly, I just was not here for it. The only thing I can say is that I was actually not the least bit upset that Bayley defeated both Alexa and Nikki Cross clean in the middle of the ring. I'm not upset about that at all because I was really just like, you know what, let's end this program. Let's just end it. Let's just kill it, be done with it, and move on to the next thing. And I'm kind of glad that that's exactly what is going to happen. Let's see, Kevin, what you got?
Yeah, this match to me was just blah, completely blah. I love Alexa Bliss. I'm glad she's healthy, quote unquote healthy. I'm glad she got over her sickness and all that other stuff. But this match was just... This ended up being a pee break, really. Like, it was just, it happened, and I'm happy for Bayley. I was kind of waiting for Sasha to come out and save her from a beatdown after the match, only to turn on her. That didn't happen. Now we see where they're going for SummerSlam. Sasha's gone, and part of me is okay with that, with all the backstage stuff we hear about her and taking her ball and going home and all that. But this match was just blah. Like, and nobody turned on anybody. I don't even know why this was a thing. I'm happy for Bayley, but I don't even know why this was on the pay-per-view is how I sum it up.
This was a Raw match.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. This did not need to be on a pay-per-view.
This is free TV.
Yep.
Sean, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, wow, is about all you can say. It served no purpose. I mean, I guess it makes Bailey look a little stronger, but I don't understand the point. It was like you said, this could have been a Raw match. It should have been a Raw match or SmackDown, technically.
Yeah, SmackDown
I
match. Yeah, I forgot.
But
SmackDown Women's Championship match should happen on SmackDown, but
right, even if 2/3 of them are on Raw.
Exactly. Wait, Roman Reigns is on what show now?
He's on SmackDown, but he's over there. Yeah.
I guess you know what. Then that's all that needs to be said. Braun Strowman versus Babalu Lashley. This match. Oh my god. I don't know how. Wait, I want to see if I can find this. I want to see if I can find this information. Actually, I can find this information. It's literally right here. This match. Okay, I want to tell y'all an interesting factoid.
Okay.
This was the second longest match on the card. 17 minutes and 30 seconds. It is second only to the main event. Which was the mixed tag match. And the closest match to it in length was the Undertaker and Roman Reigns match.
So
now that I've said that, you now probably can see my problem with this match.
My problem was like when Sean and I were watching it, the funniest thing. So when they got up to like the concession area and stuff, and there's that giant sign that says "Pardon our dust" or whatever it said, I'm like, "Oh, cool! One of them's going to go through the sheetrock. At least this will look cool." No, they walk right past that over to the merch table, and then the big spot that they kept replaying was Braun throwing Lashley into a foam covered wall. Lashley falls down, and then the foam thing falls off the wall, and Cole's like, "By God, he's broken in half!" Like. Shut up. And then the match ending spot, it was kind of cool when they threw the fans out of the way. Obviously they were all plants, but
right,
you end the match with a power slam into who knows what, because we couldn't see it. Even the replay you couldn't see. And then Braun is the Kool-Aid
bad
man.
booking.
And then the Braun's the Kool-Aid man on steroids coming out of there. And the funny thing, when you go back and watch it, the ref was like 1, 2 until God. Braun broke out. Once Braun broke out, he was like, 7, 8, 9, 10, ring the bell. And all of a sudden he started counting faster. I was like, this is so stupid. And while Lashley's not the most charismatic guy in the world, he deserves better than this. Braun deserves better than this. We talked about when we did WrestleMania a few months ago, what might be going on with Braun backstage and everything, but it seems like he's maybe starting to get back in the good graces of WWE, which I hope he is.
He just re-signed.
Yeah, I just saw that today. New 4-year contract. But like this match didn't do either of these guys any favors at all.
Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman should be in the title picture.
Yes.
Is where they should be. Somebody's title picture. Yes. But not doing this. Like, okay, does Braun get a shot at is he number 1 contender now? No. Nope. Where's Bobby Lashley at? Where's he at in all this? We don't know, because wins and losses don't matter.
Just tweeting about Brock. Yeah.
I don't know. This was. You know what? This was my. Okay, Bailey and Alexa. Yeah, that was the pee break match. This was the. Oh wait, I actually have to do more than pee. That was what this match was.
Yeah.
I gotta go number 2, so I'm just gonna go in here. I'm gonna take newspaper. Or
play
something.
Some Dr. Mario World and just wait this one out. Yeah.
I'm gonna play some Skyrim or something. I don't know. Yep. You could do that now. Sean, what were your thoughts on this match?
I mean, I'd rather see this than tug of war or an arm wrestling match.
Fair point.
Yeah. But I'm just kind of sick of this whole spot of, oh my God, he fell off a thing, and then like when you actually see it, it's like they're just falling into like foam blocks, and I don't want people to get hurt, obviously, but just if you're not going to have a spot and have it look good, if the only way you can have it look good is by just having them kind of disappear to where you don't know what happened, even though everybody knows what happened. They landed on a bunch of foam pads. Just don't even bother doing it. Come up with something new. I was a big fan mainly because of how ridiculous it was. I was a big fan of the Kool-Aid Man moment at the end, just because that is Braun Strowman right there, just busting through it. Whoa! I mean, that's perfect. I loved everything about that. But the match is just whatever. Man. They both do deserve better. But then, I mean, talk about AEW having wins and losses matter. You've got this match. Roman wins, and what does he get? He gets in a battle royal along with Bobby Lashley and 8 other people to try to get a title match out of it. Like, it did nothing for him.
Right.
No. Nobody was over. I mean, yeah, Braun went over, but I mean, is he really over? He was already over. So it's like, it's not this match doesn't enhance anybody.
No.
But I will say a match that I think actually did elevate some people. At least in my eyes, since they've been on the main roster. We had the triple threat tag match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That was the New Day with Big E and Xavier Woods versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan, who were the champions at the time, and Heavy Machinery. And I gotta admit, and I don't know, I think I said that when we were doing the group chat during the show. I remember they were doing like the cutaway promos like they used to do back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
While Heavy Machinery was walking down the ring. And I don't know if y'all caught this, but it actually warmed this cold, dead heart of mine that they actually did a slick homage to the Scott Steiner math promo from TNA.
I missed it, but once you said that, I was like, wait, what did they say? Oh my God, they did the 33%, but no, they didn't do it. Then you take a third of that and it's like 16, and then you add 99% and blah, blah, blah. And I've got 160%. That is one of the best promos of all time, was Steiner's just rambling. Yeah.
I love it. It's probably one of the greatest. I would actually dare say it is one of the greatest promos in the history of promos. But I mean, yeah, they didn't do it fully, but I mean, they said just enough to let you know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, I liked Heavy Machinery when they were on NXT. I actually liked them. My only problem with Heavy Machinery on NXT was that they were kind of similar to the War Raiders, or whatever they're called now. The Viking Raiders. Screw it. They're the War Raiders to me forever. Or War Machine, whatever you want to call them. But I just thought they were too similar in look, as far as like, the makeup of their tag team, like a big guy and a bigger guy, and the bigger guy is the agile one, and the smaller guy is the strong man. Like, they have the same, makeup in that regard. But I was very impressed with their showing at Extreme Rules, and of course, the New Day is the New Day. They will always be a good tag team. Of course, they're going to show out. But I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. It was a good match. It was probably the closest we had gotten the entire evening to a really good tag team match, I think. But once again, WWE tag team match.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sean, what you got?
It was fine. It was good, not great. I was pretty I was impressed with Heavy Machinery. I thought they look good. They're entertaining. I mean, it's mainly Otis. Tucker's just kind of
he's there.
Whatever. He's athletic. I'll give him that. But like, Otis is the team. And then Rowan's just kind of there. He adds nothing.
No, God no. God no, he adds nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was fine. Good, not great is about as far as I can go with it. But happy for a New Day.
What about you? What about you, Kev?
Same thing. I'm getting serious because I had to turn the hat around. It's hot up here. It was fun. It was a good, fun match. I predicted status quo. I was completely wrong. They teased something big was going to happen with D. Bryan SmackDown. Spoiler alert for later. Nothing happened. So I don't know what they're doing with him, but I'm probably thinking he and Rowan are done.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get my wish of Luke Harper coming out and reforming the new, like the Bryan family or something like that. I thought if D-Bry and Rowan lost the titles, that it would have been Heavy Machinery. So I was actually shocked that they gave them back to New Day. I'm not mad. I love those guys. I just didn't think that was going to happen. I don't know really what they do next. They probably fight Heavy Machinery at SummerSlam. Actually, would be my guess, but I'm happy for them. I don't know what the record is for total tag team reigns in WWE, but I think they're playing. And I remember backstage talk when they were going through the 434-day reign or whatever it was when they had the tag titles. Actually, I think that was CM Punk's reign with the WWE title. But anyways, is the plan is to make the New Day the best tag team of all time in longest reign and most reigns. So it doesn't surprise me, and I love those guys. I just didn't see it coming at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I guess here let's let's go ahead and move it on over to AJ Styles versus Ricochet for the United States Championship. And after this, we'll kind of lightning round some of these because we still got more matches to get into. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Probably, if not for Aleister Black and Cesaro, probably would have been the best singles match on the card. And probably I would even dare say the just overall best match on the card.
It's a toss up between those two.
Yeah, it was so close because honestly, how often have we seen AJ in the ring with someone who can go at his pace?
Who can go like AJ can go?
Right.
Exactly.
Ricochet. First off, and we'll talk about this when we get to Raw. Ricochet, honestly, is the only guy. Maybe you know what? Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali would probably be the only.
That would
person.
be fun.
Yep. But we don't get to see that very often. So I was actually really pleased to see it. I was actually pleased they're kind of leaning into the club angle, even though I know they can't call it the Bullet Club, whatever. I don't care about that. But I like the overall mindset. I don't like the name, but I do like the mindset of the gang. But yeah, it was a good match, solid match, great match. I hate that Ricochet lost the belt, but I think it did actually service the story that they're continuing between AJ and Ricochet. But,
so I got the prediction wrong. I figured Ricochet was going to win. They have a rematch at SummerSlam, ladder match. I'm sticking with that. I'd still say that happens, and I'll say Ricochet gets it back then. But even I don't even care if he does. But give me those two in a ladder match. That's what I want to see. But great match. It was everything you had to believe it would be. So
right.
And the ending spot.
Oh God!
Holy crap! When they had Ricochet hung up there in the corner, I'm like, wait a minute. No,
it was like a Super Styles collab.
They're not gonna, and then they did. And holy crap, that was awesome.
Only Ricochet could take that. Only Ricochet could take that.
That's exactly what Kevin and I were saying.
That's literally like I turned
that AJ would trust doing that with.
Yeah. As they were setting it up, I was like, Ricochet's the only guy that knows how to hold his head the right way so he doesn't die in this move. And to me, this was my favorite match of the night. I freaking love this from beginning to end. I hate that AJ needs help to win matches, but I get it. He's a heel now. He's with the club. Like you said, gang mentality, all that other stuff. I'm happy to see him as a heel again. I just this match to me was great. And that ending spot. And to be honest, I half expected Ricochet to kick out just because they've nerfed the Styles Clash so much over the last couple of years. But I'm glad to see it actually pin somebody and not him have to just jump off and do the stupid forearm, which the forearm on Monday night, dear God Almighty, are you kidding me? Ricochet should win every slam for the way he sold that forearm. Are you kidding me?
I don't know if y'all saw this,
God. But
I retweeted this last night. Somebody had posted this thing. It was like a picture of people like flying off of like different things, and it was like how Ember Moon and Ricochet have been selling for all these other wrestlers. I was like, dude, because that's another thing. That's another thing people don't think about. I was like, dude, Ricochet and Ember Moon, they will make you look like $1 million. Yeah. They will make a wrestler look like Ricochet made AJ look like he made that forearm look legitimate.
Right,
and
like it would kill you. Yep.
No one else has been able to make that forearm look like. Cause I think that forearm's stupid. I think it's freaking stupid.
That one was freaking amazing.
That one, against Ricochet. Ricochet made it's kind of like I would love to see Ricochet sell the woman's right.
Oh yeah.
I just want to see how he takes it. He just will he do a spin backflip with it? I guess do we have any other thoughts on AJ versus the club essentially?
No, I'm excited to see where it goes next. And if we get lucky enough to have those two in a ladder match at SummerSlam, man, I don't think we deserve that, but I hope we get it.
We do deserve it. I think we deserve it.
But Ricochet needs to have some backup. If it's Black or whoever else out there with him, you got to have somebody out there to deal with the club. But we'll see what happens there. But I love this match.
What about okay? So this one's gonna be real quick because it only lasted 17 seconds. Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler in what I felt was an appropriate finish. He hit Kevin. The bell rings. Kevin Owens hits Dolph Ziggler with a stunner. Boom, done. Bob's your uncle. We're out of here. He cuts a promo on Shane. Leaves. I'm here for it. I feel like Kevin Owens is. We're gonna book him like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Fine, whatever. But yeah, what were y'all thoughts on this 17-second matchup?
I hate it for Ziggler, but I mean, at this point, I don't expect anything else from Ziggler. No. And that's not his fault. It's just the bookers and stuff. And like we talked about in the last match, selling just about nobody does it better than Ziggler. I hate that he's fallen this far. I get it. What I really hope is that there are big plans for Owens now that he's back being healthy. He's come back from the injury, all this other stuff. He's got to go through Shane, which is just never going to end. But I'm hoping once he gets through Shane, if somebody else takes the belt off Kofi, if we are going to get face Kevin Owens as like the new kind of anti-authority Stone Cold thing, I hope this is leading to him getting another run with the strap.
I would like to see that.
But I kind of feel like they're slowly building up to that, maybe around Royal Rumble time or something like that, maybe as the belt going into Mania. But it's just, I feel bad for Dolph. Man.
I mean, I feel the same. It just, at this point, I know he's half in, half out. So it's like.
Exactly. He's got his comedy stuff, and he's not even that funny. And
nah. It's like he's marginally funny. Depends on what's going on. If he catches me on the right day. I guess, Sean, what were your thoughts on this 17-second shenanigans?
Like you said, it sucks for Dolph. I like the new angle with Owens. They can't seem to make their mind up with him. He went from face to heel. Now I guess he's a face, but he's like a anti-hero kind of thing going on. I'm sure he'll be back to just a heel by the end of the year, if not sooner. I like Owens. I do too. I can't fault him for that. But yeah, again, I don't know what they're doing with Ziggler. He needs to just leave. I love him, but I mean, if this is their plans with him, just go away.
Yeah, it's not been good. It's not been a good ride.
Like you're trying to build him as like a credible threat, and you give him multiple title opportunities. I don't think he's won a match since he's come back.
No, I don't think. I actually would dare say he is anyway. He is 0 and oh god, I can't even think of how many matches he's probably had since it's been back. But I don't think he's won a single solitary one of them.
Right.
I guess that said, let's go ahead and move on over to Kofi Kingston and Samoa Joe, which I have mixed feelings about this match because I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm not remembering it correctly, but I feel like I watched Kofi Kingston get the crap kicked out of him for like almost 10 full minutes before like he finally got some offense in.
It was basically Great Balls of Fire all over again. It was Joe dominating, and then Kofi Brock hits his finisher out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3,
and it's over. So. That's what it was. That's what I kind of felt like it was. And I know that I've heard stories that WWE is keenly aware that they have a good thing with Kofi, so they want to keep the belt on him longer. That's cool. That's great. But I mean, at least book it to. I mean, yeah, you want Joe to look strong, but it actually makes Joe look worse if he dominates a match for almost 10 minutes and then gets caught with one move.
Yep.
And gets pinned. That's actually worse. Like, honestly, if that's what you're going to do, then just squash him. Just have Kofi come out and squash him, because, I mean, it's the same mentality, because basically what you're telling me is that Joe can dish out punishment, but he can't take it. That's what you're telling me. And that's not something you should be telling me about someone you want me to think is a credible threat, which I do think he's a credible threat. Just want y'all to know. I know this man has killed people.
He should be, but like Joe should kill you. But like Joe, even throughout this match, I was like, Kofi's just going to win. And then it's Trouble in Paradise is not the kind of finisher that somebody like Joe should just take out of nowhere and just die. Yeah, this is not an HBK super kick. This is not a stunner. This is not whatever, like a tombstone out of nowhere. This is not that. This is just an enziguri where he kind of twists a little bit more. Like
because he immediately kicked out of the SOS, a move that Kofi only recently started doing again.
Right, and I just. It goes back to what I was saying on the prediction show. I was like, there's no chance Joe's going to win. Even when he was beating him down, I was like, he's not going to win. No. And then we did the whole thing like, oh, you stuck your middle finger up at me. I'm going to squish it between these steps. I was like, oh, my God, this is now turning into a comedy match. And then just, boop, Trouble in Paradise. He's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't – this Joe – I love Joe. But this Joe, the WWE Joe, I don't want to see him have another WWE title match ever at this point.
No.
He's literally never going to win it. They have booked him into the ground. It is ridiculous. I really don't ever want to see him again in a big time match, and I hate that. It's not because of his age or anything like that. It's WWE's booking, and I'm sick of it. He deserves better than this, and he's never going to get it. So I'm done caring about it.
Hey, that is fair. Sean, do you have any other thoughts on this debacle?
Very predictable. I think it's what everybody saw coming. So
I think we're all in agreement here. This was probably, I don't want to say it's the worst match. It just yeah, I don't know. It might have been the worst match of the night. I don't know. Just from a storytelling standpoint. Right. I guess let's go ahead and go to what actually I think was the weirdest match of the night, and that's the main event.
Yup.
Seth Rollins, the Universal Champion, and Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. My God. And this was a last chance winners take all Extreme Rules mixed tag team match.
The longest title for any match in WWE history.
By the way, where the stipulation is that if Baron Corbin or Lacey Evans gets a pinfall, they walk away with both championships, and if they lose, they can't challenge again for the championships. I'll go ahead and say, spoiler alert, they lost. So thank God we don't have to worry about any of those matches anytime soon. Wink, wink, because this is WWE. But the match, it was all over the place. It's all over the place. Lacey was screwing up left and right. It was just bad. I will say, really awesome bump from Becky taking the end of days. That was awesome. But that bump on her head on Raw, that is not from that end of days. That is from Lacey Evans dropping a chair.
Wait. How do you go to hit somebody in the head with a chair? I guess have it slip out of your hands, flip up in the air, hit that person in the middle of the forehead. Like only Lacey Evans could have that happen.
Only.
We all agree on that?
Only Lacey Evans. But they lost, and honestly, the match was way too drawn out. This match ran almost 20 minutes.
It felt like a 30-minute match.
Yeah, and that should tell you something. This match was 19 minutes and 55 seconds. It felt like a 30-minute match.
There were some decent spots, but this is like you're in an Extreme Rules match. However, you're not really, because
but there's all these rules.
If the man tags in the woman, then the woman on the other team has to tag. And eventually Baron Corbin, like Brandon Stroud wrote this in his report, was like, well, F this, it's Extreme Rules, whatever. I'm just going to give you the end of days.
Yeah. And the ref didn't disqualify him.
Exactly. And I did love, again, WWE's production values are amazing when he looks at Ron and says, what are you going to do, you piece of...
Oh, yeah, I love that.
That was great. That was so well done.
Can I just want to say, I discovered something at Extreme Rules. I don't hate Baron Corbin.
I do.
I would have rather.
I hate how WWE books him
with Corbin with the championship than Brock.
I actually would have rathered but then it's a mess. Basically, the whole thing is just wishy-washy because Brock, of course, Brock does come out. He cashes in, which I hate the way they do cash-ins now. The cash-ins are so... I miss the old way. Just, hey, briefcase, match, done. I don't need this announcement. Just let me get the pin.
The funny thing is they peaked with Edge, and that was the first cash-in. And I would give credit to my boy Dolph. That cash-in on Del Rio was freaking awesome, too.
His was amazing.
And it was the Raw after WrestleMania, so I get all that. But, like, that cash-in was awesome.
I even liked CM Punk's cash-in, just because, at the time, he was ECW, so it was kind of weird that he was going after the main show. He was going after the world title, or was it the WWE title? I can't remember.
It was world heavyweight.
It was world heavyweight title. Yeah. So so that one was just kind of a surprise, and the fact was like, oh wow, they're letting him do this. Because I always felt like CM Punk was a whipping boy back then. Like even at that point, I felt like he was kind of the whipping boy. But Brock comes out, cashes in, he puts in a little offense on Seth before he officially starts the match. Hits him with the F5. It's a wrap.
As soon as he hit him with that first German, I was like, okay, he's winning the title. I thought maybe if Seth could land on his feet and just run out of there or do something, then we weren't going to get the cash in. But when he hit that first German, I turned to Sean, I was like, well, that's it. It's over. He's getting the title back.
And of course, this ended up being the shortest match of the evening. If only by 4 seconds.
Can we also? I also got to touch on. Well, that's a weird way to put this with what I'm about to say.
I think I know what you're about to. I was actually thinking about that too. So go ahead. You hit him with it.
I have to touch on Lacey's butt, and I don't know what in the hell. It's like WWE is now like trying to do whatever they can to be fair, relevant.
I think what it was, she had Seth on her butt, except I don't know if she or the cameraman or who didn't realize how far up her butt the SETH was
and how separated it was. They gave her a colonoscopy on pay-per-view for crying out loud. It was horrible.
6 inches. They were about 6 inches from where SETH was. And I think the idea was they were going to zoom in to show that, and then
I get it, but that was a freaking fail.
I'm sorry. Horrible. I saw more camel toe than I saw his name, so I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be honest about that. I felt it was too much.
So bad. I feel so bad for her. It's not her. Like she's got her botches and all this stuff, but you don't. We're past that.
That's a Divas era move.
Exactly.
That's a
7-8 years ago move,
dude. Yeah. That's a bra and panties match move.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, but there's no place for it here. Not anymore. That. No,
I hated it for her. It just was like I looked at Sean and was like, "What the hell? What the hell did I just see? Did I see that, or was I imagining things?" But I don't know. Brock's the champ. Whatever. I'm gonna go out right now. Spoiler alert for our prediction show. Seth's gonna win it back at SummerSlam. I don't think Brock is sticking around. I think this was just something to get people hyped up for SummerSlam, to hate Brock and want to see Seth take it back from him and all that. I don't think this is not going to be another 1.5-year title reign. I'm like 99% sure of that.
Yeah. Seth is better at chasing the title, I think. So this is
I
also
agree.
kind
and I
of
think
a
Becky
better
is
way
too.
to go. Yeah, no, Becky needs to lose.
Yep.
I just don't. Okay, you know what? Screw it. Let's talk about Raw. Let's talk about Raw. Let's go right. Screw it. Let's talk. You know what? So Seth, obviously, we know he won the Battle Royale for the #1 contendership, which. Okay, whatever. This was an opportunity I kind of felt where they could have went a different direction.
There are easily 4, 5, maybe 6 other people in that match I would have rather see win. I'm just kind of...
Yeah, no, I would have...
over Seth now. I don't know. I just didn't care. I just assumed he was going to win.
I was not a fan.
Yeah. Well, plus, why did we just go from Extreme Rules... Baron Corbin lost. He can't challenge for the title again.
Nope.
And then they put him in a #1 contenders battle royal the next night. Like, are we really just not?
I'm glad you said that, because I actually forgot about that.
So I mean, unless I'm guessing somebody in WWE would say, "Well, we just meant he can't challenge Seth for the title again. And now that Brock won it, now he's fair game to challenge for it.
I was going to say, wasn't Ali in that match?
No.
Who else was in that match? I know Drew.
Drew wasn't, and he should have been. It was Roman, Seth, Orton,
Sami Zayn?
Zayn for some reason, Cesaro, Strowman, Lashley, Big E.
I could think of right off the just out of that list, I could think of at least 6 of those guys that would have been better suited for.
Not that they would ever do it, but I would love to see Big E versus Brock. I would love to see Cesaro versus Brock. Give me, if you're going to do it right, give me Strowman versus Brock. Give me Bobby Lashley versus Brock. I'm ready to see Roman versus Brock again. There's so many matches I would have rather seen than Seth and Brock again.
Well, especially considering, I actually, now granted, I know, because we flip-flop characters on a dime, but let's play up on the legitimacy of Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. The fact that they both competed in mixed martial arts professionally at a high level. Brock in
how
the
they
UFC.
have not given us that match yet is beyond me. Part of me hopes Brock win. I mean, I really don't even care if Brock wins or loses at SummerSlam, but I'd almost rather he win so that maybe it I don't know, whatever comes after SummerSlam, give us Brock and Lashley.
Because if I am not mistaken, and I'm going to the Google machine as we speak. Bobby Lashley's mixed martial arts record.
He was really good.
He actually okay, so here it is right here. He was 15. Bobby Lashley was 15-2.
Yeah.
In MMA. And granted, he didn't fight, the biggest names in the world, but he fought for Bellator and Strikeforce, which at the time was as good as you would get not being in the UFC. Now, if you fast forward over to your boy Brock Lesnar, on the other hand, who has fought mostly in the UFC pretty much his entire MMA career, his entire MMA career he fought in the UFC. So his record out of 9 matches was 5-3. Now, is that bad? No. But does it sound as impressive as 15? And does it sound as impressive? What did I say? What was it? 15-2?
15-2.
Yeah, no. God, no.
Are we talking Lashley?
Yeah, so we're talking about Bobby Lashley and Brock, why the WWE is not giving us a match between them for the title.
They should have given it to us a year ago, I think it was, when Lashley beat Roman. And then they just had Roman get his win back for some reason and get the title shot, which was stupid.
And that's what I was telling Sean. I was like, you had Bobby Lashley, 15-2 record, Brock, 5-3 record. Why are these guys not fighting each other?
Yep.
But that being said, speaking of records, Natalya defeated Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella to be the number 1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, I will say, good on Natalya for finally getting a win here, finally getting, something. But my problem with this is that
she sucks.
Okay, first off, A, not great. B, the post-match promo had so much cringe in it.
You're just a loving bitch. What are you talking about?
Okay, first off, can I just say, and I'm not trying to shame, I'm not body shaming, but I feel like Natalya gets too much plastic surgery done for
she
my
can't
taste.
move her face.
Yeah, no, that's I was like, dude, you can't move your lips.
Natalya is just, I get it. SummerSlam's in Canada. They should have just wrote that. I'm sure they wrote that on the script and were like, we need to. But the fact that you have a fatal
who do we have from Canada?
Yeah, and you have people chanting, "This is awful. You done effed up,"
and boring. I think I heard a boring chant at one point.
It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I don't care at all. So I guess they're going to keep the title on Becky. This is not the feud that Becky needs at all right now.
Okay, honestly, what they should have done if they were smart, if we had to book this match, if you were going to have anybody go over in this match and have to challenge Becky for the Raw Women's Championship, of course, granted, I'm going to automatically say no to Alexa Bliss because we just had that, and I don't want to rehash of what we just saw as far as, the whole Bayley thing. But I would have said if you're going with the women that are in the ring right now, either make it Carmella or make it Naomi. Or hell, I would say, make it Naomi because she hadn't even sniffed championship gold in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And not to mention, I think Naomi can cut a better promo, and go toe to toe with Becky on the mic better than what Natalya can. So I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I felt like every person in that ring would have done that promo, that post match promo. I think anyone in that ring, other than Natalya, would have done that promo better.
Yep.
I don't know. That's just me. Sean, what'd you think about it? How'd you feel about Natalya? Natty farts too much.
I just think I just don't get it. I mean, they got a few weeks to try to make that seem legitimate. I would have rather seen Alexa. I mean, I get she's just coming off a program with Bayley, so why would you just turn around and toss her now going for the Raw title? But I can see Alexa and Bayley just – that's more for the build-up than the match, I guess I would say. I think the match would be okay, but I think they would have some memorable, promos leading up to it. I think that
well, they can both talk.
Yes.
Like they're both like that's the thing. Alexa is a very good talker.
Yeah.
Like she talks better than I would actually say Alexa's man or woman is probably she's a top 5 promo.
Yeah.
She's a top 5 promo in the company.
Easily.
But yeah, I don't know. I get why they're doing it too. They're throwing Natty a bone because it's in Canada. That's which is just weird to me because I feel like there's other people from Canada on the roster. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, fine. If it's got to be, I tell you what. Here, you know what? I'll throw you one better. Before we jump into I want to go ahead and toss this other thing. I will say the SmackDown did it better. And that is okay. So Bray Wyatt finally. Good God, how long has it been? He is finally back on television. And the man looks terrifying.
Thank you. That is the word. I was scared to death when I saw that. I was like, when he popped up, I literally said out loud, oh my God, what the hell is that? Because I know it's the same mask he showed before on the stupid Funhouse thing, but seeing it in the ring, something about it like not live, but you know what I mean? But like, live, not in person, but live was like absolutely bone-chilling, terrifying. I could not
it was good.
Believe what I was seeing. And I hope, like Brandon Stroud said this in his best and worst of Raw, what he really hopes happens, since we know Finn's taking time off or he wants to take time off, Finn comes out as the demon and Bray freaking murders him. And then the demon is not
put
just
him over.
Cheat code exactly. Like put over Bray as the new demon, that it's not the demon is just the cheat code where he never loses, and then go from there. It'll be such a huge push for Bray. Bray deserves it. He's been so good, and he's been given so much crap that I hope this is the one that finally sticks. But do I have confidence in WWE? No, I have full confidence in Bray, but WWE, I just worry so much that they will find a way to completely screw this up.
They'll ruin this. Okay, let's go ahead and just say it right now. This is the match for SummerSlam. This Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt is the match for SummerSlam. That match is happening. WWE will find a way to overbook it because they see people love it. The same way they did with Becky and Ronda. The same way they kind of slick almost did with Kofi and Daniel Bryan. WWE was this close to going too far.
With all of now this gauntlet, and now a gauntlet, and now your friend's gauntlet.
It's like the New Day. Y'all have to do a gauntlet now so Kofi can keep his spot. Look, Let's just stop. Don't overbook it. You don't have to overbook it. You don't have to overbook it. We get it. We're smart. We'll figure it out. Sean, what were your thoughts on this one?
I think it was well done. I'm a big fan of Bray. The mask is terrifying. I'm not sure how it translates to actual wrestling matches. That's what I'm kind of worried about, is when he's out there actually wrestling and the lights are on and he's just standing there with freaking mask, but I just don't know how it's going to translate.
It's nightmare fuel, definitely. Definitely nightmare fuel. I actually need to check on my kid tonight because she was watching Raw with me when we saw that.
God.
She was, because we were looking at it, she was like, Daddy, that's scary. Like in about roughly that tone and cadence. She was like, that's scary. Yeah, no, I don't know. Well, I am with you, Shonda. I'm curious to see how it works in the ring.
Yeah.
If the mask, and I think it'll still look good, but we don't know yet. We haven't seen it yet. I want to see that mask with all the lights on. SmackDown. We had the town hall meeting. And okay, I didn't hate it. However, I didn't love it either. I do agree. Shane needs to get the hell out of Dodge. At some point, he needs to go somewhere. I'm over it. This whole Shane O'Mac has got his fingers and paws and everything. I'm done with it. Let's be done with it. Get it over with. Get him out. I did appreciate that Buddy Murphy and Apollo Crews got to talk on the mic. I appreciate that Liv Morgan got a little bit of character development. But I'm glad that Charlotte's back.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Charlotte's back. Just don't throw in the title picture just yet.
Right. Buddy Murphy is freaking legit. Let me just say that. I want that guy to get a run. Like, that was one of, like we always say when we talk about the cruiserweight matches, they don't care. Why should we? Buddy Murphy was the one guy that really made me care. That dude can freaking go. And I think he's got a really good future. Again, it's like I say with everything. Who knows what WWE is actually going to do? They're probably going to screw him up, but I'm so excited to see what he does on SmackDown. So I did like that for sure.
And I guess out of all this stuff, this is basically the takeaways. The takeaways from this. And of course, we're not even going to talk about Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan just was supposed to announce something. He didn't. We already said that earlier. He wasted everybody's time. And I know they're probably doing some storytelling, but I ain't got time for it.
Same.
You got to give me something. You got to give me something for me to be that excited for that. But I think the biggest takeaways for me in this one was you had two matches. What was it? The 6-man. We had a 6-man tag.
Yep.
The entirety of the New Day. And we've also got Randy Orton, Elias, and Samoa Joe.
Yep.
And Orton is the one who walks away with the pinfall. So what does this mean? Is he getting the belt back? Is he going to be taking on Kofi at SummerSlam? I don't know.
This means he's fighting Kofi. It may turn into some kind of a triple threat or fatal four-way.
Maybe get him and Samoa Joe involved.
Right, but at the very least, Orton's going to be in it. I don't think he wins the title. I think their move, even though I knew they weren't going to do it, the move was have him drop it to Joe. And they didn't do that. They're not going to have him drop it to Orton. If they're going to do Orton versus Kofi, I hope they remember their history and build off of that. Like the history. Yes. Like
stupid.
At least give us one callback to that and I'll be happy. You don't need to build the whole feud around that, but just give us one callback to that. And I'll be like, okay, you guys are doing this right.
See, I hope it's Orton that gets the next title shot. And this kind of goes back to what I said in the preview show and I said earlier today is no one has actually felt like a threat to Kofi. Orton is a threat for one move. All he's got to do is catch Kofi in some weird position and just lie down and just give him a little diamond cutter RKO action and it's over and he's the champ. So I think this would be the first match for me where I actually felt like Kofi might actually lose the belt. If that's the match, I'm not ready to make a prediction right now. I need to get that all right in my head. But this would be the first time that Kofi has had a title defense where I think he might actually lose. This would be the first time for me. I don't know why else you have Orton pin him if he's not going to get the title shot at SummerSlam. It looks like they're not going to do any, fatal four-way thing for that or battle royal or any of that stuff. So I just assumed that since we had the battle royal on Raw, that Orton pinning him on SmackDown, as Brandon Stroud always likes to say, insert name here has pinned the insert name champion.
Mm-hmm.
That WWE likes to do. I just assume that means he's getting a title shot. And I'm all here for it. I've always loved Randy Orton. So many people crap on him. I really like him.
I've liked him since even pre-Evolution.
Yeah, it's not just the RKO. I think that guy can go. Is he the best promo? No, but when he's in the ring and when he's motivated, that guy can go. So I would love to see him in another program with Kofi. Like Sean said, do all the callbacks to all the rivalries and feuds they've had in the past. I think it'd be great.
If he takes the strap away from Kofi, I only want to see one spot. I want to see Kofi mid Trouble in Paradise.
Oh my
RKO.
God.
That's all I want to see. I'm talking about literally mid spin.
Wait,
and out of nowhere, boom, got him. Yes.
That's a lot of work. If I can see it, but that's all on Kofi.
Dude.
And Kofi can do it. Kofi can do it.
Yeah.
He's athletic enough to pull that off, but it's almost like you flip, you turn, and then as Orton grabs your head, your legs go back this way. Oh my God.
I want to see it.
That'd be one of the best, if not the best RKO of all time.
Oh yeah,
I still love that one at Mania 31 against Seth. That one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. well, they said they practiced that one. They practiced it multiple times.
They nailed it.
Well, Orton said that out of all the times they practiced it, they never got it.
Wow.
He said every time they practiced it, he said they practiced it like multiple times. Every time they botched it.
God.
But when they did it live in front of an audience, that was the first time they got it right. So if they can pull that off, if that can happen, I think Kofi can do it. That said, I do want to touch on the fact that, you were talking about the women's championship, everything, with Raw. I don't necessarily like the way that they brought the match forward as far as like how they announced the match, how Bayley's just like pretty much just like, okay, I haven't really faced you. I'm going to face you at SummerSlam. In regards to Ember Moon. And because at this point, I'm just glad she's in the title picture.
Amen.
I don't really care how.
So I am so looking forward to this, and I hope Ember kicks her ass. I really do.
She needs to go mean streak.
Deserving.
I was going to say, I could see this being a heel turn.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I want. I mean, because you got to think about it. Honestly, when she first came to NXT, that's kind of what I thought they were going to do with her, is have her just be a straight-up heel. But then they just kind of played her as a white meat babyface, and I was like, wow, like, you got the Sheenom. You have this person who has, like, literally her finishing move is a heel finisher.
I still, to this day, I don't know how she pulls that move off. Every time I see it, it blows my freaking mind.
She nails it every time.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen it even slightly botched. Like, it looks basically perfect every time.
I don't know how she does
it. I don't know if it was Mania, like a battle. Didn't she get a double once?
Yeah, there was a double. There was a double one, and actually, the one I thought you were talking about was the one she did in Money in the Bank that they didn't catch on camera. The one she caught Natty with.
Okay.
She caught Natty with one in Money in the Bank that the cameras missed, and I was like, dude, why? But no, she has caught two people with it. She's even done it off of Braun Strowman's shoulders.
Oh, my God.
Because I was watching Mixed Match Challenge at the time because I was bored. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, they put Ember Moon and Braun together. I was like, oh, this is a wrap. Yeah. I was like, Ember Moon and Braun are winning the whole thing. And then Braun got injured. And then Ember ended up getting stuck.
Ember got injured.
Yeah, just like, oh, my God. But no, I will say this, though. Interesting factoid about Ember Moon. Before she learned that move, she was terrified of heights.
Oh, my God.
Like, she did not like being on the top rope, like, at all. She did not enjoy it at all. But the fact that she can do that move, it's little stuff. It's little stuff like that. But the thing is, I need to see Ember Moon turn into a beast. I need to see Ember Moon go full-on mean streak because Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville have been screwing with her for the last, 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah.
You need to turn it up, girl. No, I don't want to see this white meat babyface versus white meat babyface. When this match starts, I kind of want, for those who are watching NXT, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I want my girl Ember Moon to go full on Io Shirai. I want her to turn on Bayley. I want her to turn on her and just start beating the brakes off of her. Beat her like she stole something from you. Beat her like you had a can of Pringles just sitting in the pantry. You've been thinking about that can of Pringles all day, and you come home and you find out Bayley is eating all of them. Beat her like that. That's how I want Ember Moon to do it. But I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens.
I really want Pringles now. Damn it. They're so good.
They are. They were like, you really can't eat just one. I actually like that. Like, yeah, that should have been their slogan. Lay's doesn't deserve it. But no, I mean, like, yeah. Do y'all? But how did y'all feel about the way this match was booked? Did y'all feel like was it too? Just like, oh, hey, it's out of nowhere. Like, hey, we tagged real good together. Let's have a match.
Yeah. So as much as I don't want there to be an on-screen, like, authority anymore, you kind of need something. Because why can Becky just be like, okay, we're going to fight at the pay-per-view? Like, I'm just so confused on how this is all supposed to work. Do all the champions just get to, like, who put together the Battle Royal on Raw?
I don't know.
We don't have a GM or commissioner or whatever.
Which is weird, because I feel like Shane technically is the GM of SmackDown.
Right.
And Heyman did theoretically say that he was calling the shots around here when he was referring to Raw.
Yeah. Right.
On Raw. So it's like, but you're not, I don't know, dude.
I'm fine with it being Ember. I don't think there's another person on
SmackDown.
No. Should be. It's just kind of weird that the wrestlers can just be like, we're going to fight now.
Well, because they make it seem like it's such an issue whenever it's somebody else. Like, it's like, oh, well, no, you got to fight this guy. And then, oh, well, now you got to fight that. Hell, we literally watched Kofi Kingston do how many gauntlets?
Right.
The New Day themselves had to do a gauntlet just so Kofi could get a match against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. I mean, come on, I don't know. I wish they would have booked it better. The build up to it. I wish maybe Ember Moon would have maybe done a run in or something, or maybe just started going after Bayley, for whatever reason, or something like that. And I am always worried because it was the same thing that happened with AJ and Seth. You had two white meat baby faces going at each other, and it's like one of you has to kind of turn heel, or at least do something less baby face-ish than the other.
Right.
Like, just you can't have two baby faces go against each other. It just doesn't work. But but that said, that's everything pretty much as far as I can tell. That is everything. And yeah, we made it. We made it through all of it somehow, some way. I guess all in all, SmackDown not awful. Raw was okay. I'm less worried about going to go see SmackDown live here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. We'll see. I guess let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and get these plugs, man. So basically, you know where you can find us. Nerd901.com. All you got to do is go to nerd901.com. You can find the Smark Shooters tab. Click on that. Take you right to everything. You can also find us, I think as of today, we are on Spotify, Google, and you can find us on pretty much any podcatcher. I think we're still working on iTunes. iTunes is hit or miss right now. I think we're getting there. We need to get on. We may be going up on Stitcher soon if we haven't already. You can also find us on Twitter at Smark Shooters. Also, make sure you go to the YouTube channel because we have that. You can get the video version of this podcast. And on top of all that, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the bell, help us get to 100 subscribers so we can get that. We can get that custom channel URL, because those are always nice. And of course, what else is there? Is anything else? I guess we don't have anything else coming up. I guess maybe we probably should plan for what's coming up. We'll figure out some more stuff for was it Fyter Fest or not Fyter Fest, but All Out and SummerSlam, all the stuff that's coming up. But outside of that, we don't really have anything else coming up right now. I think we'll have
August is going to be fun. August is going to be a fun month.
Well, I mean, oh God. Yeah, August is going to be all over the place. I'm not ready for it. I really am not. We're going to have NXT UK Cardiff and All Out on the same day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly. And I love NXT UK. I don't watch as much as I should, but I confess. But I'm very curious to see what they got coming up. Outside of that, I don't think we have anything else. Anybody else got anything?
No, this was good. This was fun. I love that we're doing this. Yeah. R.I.P. Nick. I hope you're enjoying Life by the Beach. I'll be there in October. But yeah, this was fun. I'm just so glad we're doing this. It's long overdue, and I'm having a blast. So
very much,
which is good.
It's good times. We'll have to eventually at some point. We'll have to figure out how to do like a live watch along. We'll have to plan one of those. Maybe for All Out.
Oh,
we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Anyways, thank y'all all so much for watching. Thank you for hanging with us, and hopefully we will see you all next time on the Best There Is, Best There Was, Best There Ever Will Be Wrestling Podcast. Smart Shooters, see you all next time. Peace out.